welcome to episode 33 of The Checklist, brought to you by Secure Mac. I'm Ken Ray.
I'm Nicholas Raba.
And I'm Nicholas Tacek.
Your Mac is password protected, right? Well, it should be, especially if you have a MacBook, something that you use away from home. A password, a good password, is your first line of defense against unauthorized entry to your machine. Without one, anybody who gets access to your Mac, physically or across a network, will have immediate access to all of your information. Okay, so now we've got you locked up. What happens if you forget your password? The good news is your data is safe. The bad news, you can't have it. Luckily, there's a lot you can do to try to get back into your Mac if you've forgotten your password, and we're going to look at some of those ways to do that on today's checklist. Items on the list. Did you actually forget your password? I'm not asking that to be mean. I'm saying, did you actually forget your password? Resetting your password through Apple ID. Resetting your password with another administrator account. Using the terminal in recovery mode to reset your password. And finally, other options if you're using File Vault. Now, we should point out the exact procedure that'll work for you depends on the way you set up your Mac, which is why we have a few things for you to try. Now, we'll start with the easiest one. Maybe you didn't actually forget your password.
This one sounds simple, but if you keep entering what you think is the correct password, but it just won't work, it's worth checking a few basic things first. With something as routine as logging into your machine, it's easy to miss subtle things that could cause you to enter an incorrect password. Does the password field show the caps lock symbol is on? Everyone has hit the key accidentally before, and you might not notice the icon in the password field. Double check that you're entering every character of the password correctly. If you don't remember it at all, try checking the password hint that you may have created during the setup. A hint could be enough to jog your memory and allow you to enter the right password. Or you may think that the hint is a trap and you totally write random jargon in your password hint, and then the hint has no help for you. In some cases, you can log in with the password used for the Apple ID associated with your iCloud account. Before you begin any other recovery methods, try this first. Apple notes on its website that if you've recently changed your password, you may be able to log in with your old one first. From then on, the newer password will be the key to unlocking your Mac.
And now we can say, yay! Unless, of course, that doesn't work, in which case, boo. So what do we do now? Attempt number 1, reset your password via Apple ID.
Well, there's a good chance that when you were trying the wrong password earlier, your Mac asked if you wanted to reset your password using Apple ID. If that didn't happen, try entering several passwords now. Okay, if you still don't see that message, resetting with Apple ID won't be an option for you. You have to have previously linked your macOS user account to your Apple ID for that to work. If you did do that and resetting with the Apple ID is an option, here's what you do. First, you click on the area next to the message asking if you want to reset your password with Apple ID. Your Mac should now show you another login prompt, this time for your Apple ID or iCloud credentials. If you still remember this information, enter it into the box now. Once Apple authenticates the info, your Mac will allow you to reset the local user account password immediately. It's that easy. Once you reach the stage, we suggest you take the opportunity to create a password hint to help prevent the situation from occurring in the future, and make sure the hint has something to do with what the actual password is. After resetting your password, you can log into your Mac as you normally would. There's an additional step you'll need to take for this method, and all the others we'll discuss, but we'll cover that a little bit later.
And now we can say, yay, unless that doesn't work, in which case, well, it's boo again. On now to attempt number 2, reset your password via another administrator account.
So logging into another admin account is the next option. If you don't have those credentials, ask the user who does. Once you log in as the admin, go straight to the System Preferences window. On This menu, locate the users and group option and click on it to open it. Now look at the padlock icon, which Apple uses to show functionality that requires further authentication. You're going to click on the padlock, and you'll receive a prompt to enter the admin login information one more time. After you've supplied these credentials, you'll see a list of all the Mac users. Select your username. Click on the Reset Password button now displayed in the window. Once again, you'll be able to immediately reset the password while creating a more helpful hint this time. After specifying this info, you could click Change Password and then log out of the admin account. You should now be able to log into your account as normal.
And once again, I say, yay! Unless this still doesn't work, in which case I'm starting to get a little nervous. Let's go on to attempt number 3. Use the terminal in recovery mode. My stomach already.
No, you could still do it.
Use the terminal in recovery mode to reset your password.
This would be kind of the case if you're the only admin account on your machine. If the previous steps and attempts haven't worked, it's kind of time to go old school. Mm-hmm. Here's what you do to get started with the terminal method. Start by rebooting your Mac. During the startup procedure, right after you hear that chime, hold down the Command and R key on your keyboard at the same time. So Command R. Your Mac will boot into the Mac OS recovery mode. You can stop holding down those keys on the keyboard once it's booted into recovery mode. If it boots up normally, you didn't time it right, so try again. Once you're in recovery mode, click on the Utilities menu at the top of the screen and then select Terminal. You now have an open command line interface window, and it's just kind of a black window with white text. Now you type reset password, and that's all one word and all lowercase. At that point, you'll get a prompt to choose your startup drive. If you have more than one boot drive, that is. If you only have one startup drive, then you won't see that prompt. And then you will have the option to choose your specific user account. After selecting your user account, the terminal will ask you to enter a new password for that account, similar to the previous methods. Once you've reset the password, you can reboot the machine again and return to your account. There are a few other options in the terminal, though, including creating a brand new administrator account. However, that would require some longer commands. So sticking with the reset password method is the simplest and most effective trick. There are some times when these methods won't work at all, though. If you've enabled Apple's full disk file vault encryption, you're going to have to rely on a few methods that are more specific to that situation. Because with file vault enabled, your hard drive is now encrypted. Apple disables these basic reset methods because otherwise, it'd be way too easy for a bad guy, a thief, whoever, to gain access to your data. If you know your file vault password, though, you can unlock the ability to reset passwords on your startup drive through the disk utility application. In the event that you have file vault enabled, which we've recommended in the past, and you know your file vault password, you can unlock the ability to reset passwords on your startup drive through the disk utility application, which actually takes us to item 5 on the list. I get to steal your thunder there, Ken.
No, it's quite all right.
If you're using file vault, you do have other options. So say you've encrypted your disk with file vault. Just wait a minute at the login screen. Don't do anything. Just sit there. You'll eventually receive a message that you can press the power button to reboot into recovery mode. So do so by holding down the power button. Turn your Mac back on again, and you will soon receive the File Vault Password Reset Assistant. You can choose I forgot my password, at which point you will need to supply your File Vault details to authenticate yourself. Once you do, you can access the same reset process that we've already described. As you can see, there are a lot of different roads that all lead to the same destination when it comes to resetting your password. So Otherwise, do you remember your recovery key? I believe we talked about this a while ago on a few different shows, but your recovery key is a really long special code created by FileVault when you first set it up in the first place to encrypt your disk.
It's also one of the most paradoxical things we talk about, because it's like, okay, so you're going to encrypt your data so that nobody can get to it, but there's only one password for it, and we really want you to write that password down.
You put it in a safe place.
And you put it in your safe.
And hopefully you haven't forgotten the combination to your safe, because otherwise then, you chuck the whole thing and move to the country. Yeah.
So when you did set up FileVault and you got that recovery key, we recommended, and Apple recommended, and your Mac recommended that you write it down, print it out, and keep it somewhere safe. So hopefully you've gone and collected it from your home safe or your bank safe deposit box or whatever. And so if you know your key, you can also reset the password directly from the login screen. So go ahead and type the wrong password 3 times in a row to fail the password prompt. At that point, FileVault will offer to allow you to use the key. So there's an arrow that appears, and you click on that, and you enter the really long recovery key. Double check it to make sure you didn't get any of it wrong. And again, proceed to change your password. Now, for that final step we mentioned earlier, for all these different methods, you might encounter, after. Okay, so let me take a step back. After using these methods to reset your password, you log into your account. You might encounter a message that's kind of cryptic and worrying once you've logged back in. Your Mac might tell you that it couldn't unlock or access your login keychain. Don't worry, you haven't lost any critical data in the reset process. Loss of access to the keychain just happened because the system can't match your new user password to your old one. It's quick and easy to make a new one and regain access to your keychain. So if you do see that alert, the system should also present you with a Create New Keychain button. So press that and you're finished. If you don't see that alert, you should reset the keychain manually. You'll find the necessary utility called Keychain Access in the Utilities folder, which is in the Applications folder. Once you open Keychain Access, go to the Preferences and click on Reset My Default Keychain. Now, you'll need to enter your brand new password again at this point. Afterwards, log out of your account and log back into your account, and it will finish resetting your keychain. Now, all the necessary passwords match between your account and your keychain, and you can continue using your Mac as you normally would.
All right, I'm going to say it one more time. Yay! Unless none of that worked, in which case it's time to meet the maker. By which I mean call Apple. If nothing we talked about work, Apple suggests contacting them directly for additional help.
They're not miracle workers, though. I mean, they set up FileVault so no one would be able to get your protected data. Even Apple. If you've lost your recovery key and password, reinstallation of the operating system is probably where you're going to be headed. To keep it from coming to that, try to keep your login password memorable to you, but not something as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, you don't want someone to guess your password easily. You still want to be able to keep your Mac secure. When using FileVault, always keep your recovery key in a safe place you can easily remember. Storing it in a safe deposit box at your bank is a good idea. With the right precautions, you can avoid this situation. But if you do forget, at least you'll know your potential solutions.
It's crazy to me. I have never once worried about forgetting my password for my Mac. Since we started working on this episode, I'm afraid I'm going to psych myself out and forget my password. So listen, I'm just going to tell everybody what it is. And then if I forget, that might not be the best idea. Hey, I do have a good idea, though. If you want to go back over some of these steps or steps from things we've covered on past episodes, we've got just a page chock full of show notes. And that page is securemac.com/checklist. Again, that is securemac.com/checklist. Lots of stuff to check out there, as I say, from all the shows we've done before and all the shows we're going to do. But you will have to wait until we do those shows before you get that information. Securemac.com/checklist. And if you have a question you'd like to ask or a comment you would like to send us, we do have an email address. It is checklist@securemac.com. The address again is checklist@securemac.com. And if you can't remember that, remember this. You are listening to The Checklist, brought to you by Secure Mac. And we'll talk to you next week.